Φίλες και φίλοι του διαδικτυακού μας καναλιού Εξόνιο, του μυστηρίου της εναλλακτικής γνώσης, αλλά και αναζητητές του πολιτικού παρασκήνιου, καλησπέρα σε όλους. Και πάλι εδώ μαζί σας σήμερα για να μοιραστώ μια είδηση βόμβα που έσκασε, που βέβαια, να σας πω την αλήθεια, προσωπικά φίλες και φίλοι το ανέμενα. Το περίμενα ότι θα το ακούσουμε και αυτό κάποια στιγμή. Λοιπόν, ελπίζω να κάθεστε καλά, αν και τώρα έχουμε γίνει όλοι, έχουμε αποκτήσει ανοσία σε όλα, μια και ακούμε πάρα πολλά τρελά, πάρα πολλά περίεργα. Ακούστε λοιπόν και αυτό. Πρόκειται ίσως να περιοριστούν πάρα πολύ, αν όχι να σταματήσουν τα ταξίδια με αεροπλάνα. Ή μήπως με ερωτηματικό. Θα σταματήσουν τα ταξίδια με αεροπλάνα? Πρόκειται λοιπόν για ένα σοκαριστικό ρεπορτάζ δημοσιογράφου που θα σας δώσω και σε βίντεο παρακάτω, αφού σας πω μερικά λόγια. Οι άνθρωποι επιδιώκεται από κάποιους να περιοριστούν αυστηρά με 1002 προσχήματα. Ο Χαράρι δείχνει να επιβεβαιώνει κάποιους φόβους. Η Βρετανίδα δημοσιογράφος Κέιτι Χόπκινς απαριθμεί αμέτρητα παραδείγματα τα οποία φέρονται να οδηγούν στην ίδια αντίληψη. Η ελευθερία των ανθρώπων να ταξιδεύουν προφανώς θα περιοριστεί αυστηρά παγκοσμίως. Σύμφωνα με τους ισχυρισμούς, οι άνθρωποι θα έχαναν εντελώς κάθε δικαίωμα να πετούν μέσα στα επόμενα 10 χρόνια, μέσα στην επόμενη δεκαετία, φίλες και φίλοι. Άλλωστε, προσφάτως, ο σύμβουλος του Παγκοσμίου Οικονομικού Φόρουμ Νόα Χαράρι, στον οποίο έχουμε αναφερθεί αμέτρητες φορές τελευταία, είπε πως τα μεγάλα ταξίδια καλό θα είναι να σταματήσουν. Έχει βγει πάρα πολύ ο Ισραηλινός αυτός σύμβουλος του Κλάους Σβάμπ, ο Νόα Χαράρι, πάρα πολύ έτσι στο προσκήνιο τελευταία. Κάνει τον δικό του αγώνα εντός ή εκτός εισαγωγικών, μας λέει πάρα πολλά πράγματα για πάρα πολλές ελευθερίες που πρέπει να περιοριστούν, και η Χόπκινς, δημοσιογράφος, βγάζει τα συμπεράσματά της από τα τρέχοντα γεγονότα. Όπως ισχυρίζεται, η British Airways έκοψε πρόσφατα το 18% των πτήσεών της. Η Γαλλία ακύρωσε πτήσεις εσωτερικού και το αεροδρόμιο του Άμστερνταμ μείωσε τη χωρητικότητά του κατά 20%. Μιλάμε για πάρα πολύ σημαντικά ποσοστά, για το 1/5. Σύμφωνα πάντα με τους ισχυρισμούς της δημοσιογράφου, οι ελλείψεις προσωπικού, η κλιματική αλλαγή, η ενεργειακή κρίση και η κρίση της πανδημίας που είχαμε παρουσιάζονται ως προσχήματα, έτσι λέει. Η Χόπκινς απαιτεί να γίνει γνωστή όλη αυτή η εξέλιξη των καταστάσεων, ώστε η ανθρωπότητα να μην χάσει κάποιες από τις ως τώρα αυτονόητες ελευθερίες της, πιάνοντάς την στον ύπνο. Φίλες και φίλοι, θα προχωρήσω δίνοντάς σας το βίντεο ντοκουμέντο που μιλάει η ίδια Βρετανίδα δημοσιογράφος. Ακούστε την και δείτε την τι λέει ακριβώς, και θα δώσουμε και ένα μικρό απόσπασμα για να θυμηθείτε τι είχε δηλώσει και ο Νόα Χαράρι. Λοιπόν, όλο δικό σας φίλες και φίλοι, απολαύστε το. Να είστε όλοι καλά.
And I believe that within 5 years, ordinary people will not have the right to fly in any way that they were used to. And within 10 years, ordinary people will not have the right to fly at all. And there's loads of evidence to support this. And the weird thing is that no one's talking about it and no one's telling you that this is an explicit target-driven strategy pushed. Yesterday we heard from British Airways that they are cutting 10,000 flights, and in fact many more are being cut as well. There are references to staffing issues which were used as the excuse in the summer, but this isn't about staffing. This is a decision to cut flights according to target-driven quotas, and this will reflect about 18% of flights being cut, and yet no one's really questioning it. But if you just look around, you'll see it's happening in many other places as well. France has banned internal domestic flights if they're less than, I think, 2 hours long. If there's a train that you could take instead, you now have to take that train. You can't jump on a short haul flight, despite obviously the powerful and the great jumping on their, private jets to go wherever they please. France has banned your freedom to just get on a plane when you want to go somewhere. No one ever asked French people if they wanted this to happen. The ban was just put in place. And in fact, today they've also banned any adverts for fossil fuel. So if you're a supermarket and you might have cheap fuel, you're not allowed to advertise it. In Norway, there's a proposition for individual flight quotas. They also want to stop duty-free. They want to ban internal domestic flights, just like France. And they want to remove people's ability to fly more than X number of times per year. So another country with the same program in place. And the one country that is being very clear that this is nothing to do with staffing, nothing to do with some scheduling or efficiency, is Schiphol in Amsterdam. They are limiting flights to prevent emissions. I mean, the one thing I would say is at least they're being honest about it. But it's really dramatic. They're cutting flights back to 440,000 per year, which is a 20% cut. And it is very easy to see that if the global agenda was 20%, Schiphol, Amsterdam, has just gone straight to it and taken that hard line. They are also tripling the passenger tax, and the airport charges are going up by 37%. Amsterdam used to be the third most connected international hub, right behind Britain and France, and it is decimating itself in order to comply. We have been signed up to stuff that, were you ever asked about this? Were you ever asked, are you willing to give up your freedom to fly? Are you willing to give up your freedom to go where you want, when you want to go? Did anyone ever ask you? And my second big question, given that Amsterdam is the only one being honest about it, but that our BBC, the British broadcaster responsible for disseminating information, are still prepared to be complicit in the lie. Why is no one talking about this? Where are the journalists? People are still controlled by their bosses, by whoever's towing the line. No one wants to address the fact that ordinary people will not have the freedom to fly in future. And you were never asked if this was something you wanted to sign up to. I also wonder how many more freedoms we have to lose before people stop just looking down and being complicit in the lie. And you can start to see how things like Extinction Rebellion were allowed to have such a free reign in central London, and also at airports, gluing themselves to the tarmac by their nipples. In the American Constitution, it talks about 3 fundamental rights: the right to life, the right to liberty, and the right to the pursuit of happiness. I wonder just how much pursuit of happiness people are going to have within 5 years, at the point where they've slept-walk into all of this. This stuff can be reduced dramatically through demand and supply levers. You can easily cripple supply by just chopping flight numbers, and you can cripple demand by making it so that people can't afford to pursue happiness. And if you look at what's going on with household bills, with inflation at 18%, with people no longer being able to afford ordinary life, you can see how that demand lever is also being pulled. People ask me all the time, so what? So what do we do about it? The first thing you can do is lobby those that you do listen to address this. And the second thing is be very clear in your own mind what is happening to us. And most of all, go out and book a bloody flight tomorrow, because you may as well make the most of it whilst we still have some limited ability to have these freedoms that are so rapidly being taken away. And yet, no one wants to talk about it.
No, we don't need to change the fundamental things that we desire. We need to change the way that we go about achieving them. People desire, peace of mind, to be peaceful inside yourself. This is something almost everybody wants. So, you know, you listen to the commercials on television and you get this idea that if I want peace of mind, I need to fly to the other side of the world, to some idyllic island, and spend lots of money and create enormous amounts of pollution in the process in order to get peace of mind. And this is just nonsense. I mean, you don't need to change your basic desire to have peace, but you can achieve it right here. You don't need to fly to the other side of the world. And similarly, people want to be loved and they want to love, but it doesn't really cost so much money. You don't need these, you know, entire industries that are supposed to make you more attractive or whatever in order to have love in your life. You can achieve it much more cheaply and in a much more healthy way for you and the environment. So the basic desires of human beings, yes, it's very difficult to change them, and we don't need to change them. We need to change the extremely roundabout and sometimes ridiculous way that we go about pursuing these fundamental human needs and human desires.